Hey guys, this is Gina with Paper Over Pixels, and welcome to my first real full YouTube video. Here, what we're going to talk about is just real planning, nothing pretty, pure functionality. And every time I've searched YouTube for different planning videos to help me with my day-to-day stuff, I see the same thing. Everything is perfect. There's beautiful stickers, routines that just don't survive a real workday in my life. I'm an accountant by trade, and my world is full of spreadsheets, client deadlines, payroll reports, emails, meetings, staff this, staff that, just real life. And we all live in a digital world. We all live in technology. And sometimes you have to have something else to balance that out and do a little bit of detoxification. So I started this channel because I needed something that was more concrete, planning that actually worked in the middle of a very chaotic workday. As an accountant, my days are full of numbers, details, deadlines, and I don't have time for aesthetic perfection. So what I needed was a system that helps me think and not just decorate. So real planning isn't about making everything look pretty. This is my work planner. It is the Hobonichi Weeks Mega. I've been using this one for work since about 2017. And it just worked. I've tried all different other types. Traveler's notebooks, Lord terms are my favorite for bullet journaling. I'm a bullet journal enthusiast, so I kind of take that method and put it in here. So Monthlies, I'm sure you're familiar with Hobonichi and all of their notebooks. Excuse me. This is one page. This is the annual index type of page. I've never used it. The columns are just way too small for me, so I'm not exactly sure what I can put in here to make it work for me, but for now I just continue to leave it blank. So if you have any ideas, please leave them for me in the comments below. Monthlies, pretty simple. I kind of do projects, deadlines, overview over here, and then monthly meetings, appointments, events, deadlines, traveling if I'm going to be traveling. So sometimes they're full and sometimes they're empty, but these are kind of how I put everything that comes into my inbox and stick it into my planner. So I have everything on paper. I don't want to live in my inbox. So this is the monthlies. Then we can flip to the weeklies. What I usually do here is I put a line going down the center. These are all of my events, and I'll put deadlines. These are tasks for that week that I need to get done. This is my schedule. So this is the actual time block in a different layout. So this is kind of a vertical look at a schedule. And then I'll start filling things out like this. This is actually what I did versus what I planned to do. I don't put what I plan to do here. I put what I actually worked on. What I plan to do is my task box. So I would like to work on these, but that doesn't always happen. Fires happen, emergencies happen, and we get sidetracked. So this is kind of how I utilize my weeklies. And From there, I go into these note pages that they have, and this is one reason why I love the Mega, because it has a lot of extra note pages in the back. So I've used these several different ways. I started to do my staff dashboards here with their list of clients and running task logs for the month. I gave up on that because there was just not enough room here to actually list everything. So these are the daily pages. This is where I live throughout my workday. I basically take my inbox and I triage my inbox, and I go through and I start writing down all of the tasks, the action items that I have to get done for that day, and I work through it. Sometimes I will just cross everything off that's done. Other times there's pages where I will just highlight what's completed, and I didn't like that. I didn't like the way this looked, so I stopped doing the highlights because it drove me batty. So I went back to just writing everything out and then crossing off when things got completed. So very simple, just a bullet journal style to-do list coming from my inbox, and I write everything down. And the reason I write everything down is because I don't want to live inside of my actual inbox. So that's the one thing I don't want to do. I want to stay functional. I want to stay productive. And the only way to actually do that is to have this hybrid method of digital and analog. And this is what works for me. Real planning isn't about looking pretty. It's about clarity, deciding what actually matters today before the noise starts. My planner is where I get everything out of my head and put things into action. A paper planner for focus, and tools like Gmail. I use the stacking method for Gmail. Obviously, I'm in QuickBooks all day long, spreadsheets, and I don't want to stay there permanently. We all know we can get swallowed up with emails coming through our inbox. I'm a firm believer in inbox zero. So I answer emails 3 times a day, at 9 in the morning, at noon, and then at 3 o'clock. And every now and then at the very end of the day, depending on what it is. But for this aspect of it, this is what works for me. This is real. This is not pretty. This is not aesthetic looking. This is pure 100% functionality, productivity, getting things out of my head and putting them onto paper so that I can do what I need to do. And I think that everyone, when you're in a meeting and you're looking to take notes, the first thing you're going to do is grab a pen and something to write on. And coming from a world before digital, this method worked, and it worked for a reason, because what you write down, you're going to retain more. And so even with all the technology that we have, we still need to retain that information. And I chose to continue using this hybrid method. So all of my action items get put in here. If my computer somehow shuts down in the middle of doing something, because yes, that's happened before, and I have no idea where I'm at, where I left off, what was I doing, I lost everything because it's on my computer and now I have to wait for it to restart. That was my old computer. So this, if I write it down, I can say, okay, I was in the middle of doing my downloads for my staff, or I was in the middle of doing my staff dashboards and answering all of their stuff, that they put in the dashboards for me, replies, this, that, and the other. It's going to stay here. It's going to be here so that when my computer comes back up, I know exactly where I was at and where I need to go from there, instead of waiting and spending 30 to 45 minutes plus trying to figure out where I was. I don't want that residual effect to take over what I'm doing for the day. I don't have the time to actually spend trying to figure out where I was. So if I write everything down, it lives here. I can open up my planner and get to work. So if you are looking for something that is functional over form, paper over stickers, Gmails, etc., this is a place for you. Welcome to real planning in the real world, where paper meets the chaos of our modern digital workplace. So if you like this video, you would like more. Sorry if it's a little unnerving. It's my first time. This is my first video. And I really hope that you get good use out of it as much as I did, and you can get some tips and tricks from it to maybe help you in your daily work life.